What it is, my 10 Peace and Grease here, and today I'm going to be talking about the Emissary Derelict mission nodes. Now, I know the obvious question you're probably going to ask is, but Peace, why? Who cares? Well, there are two specific reasons, and the first reason is that the Nightwave Series 2 is actually wrapping up. We're on the last episode now, and as a result, we have the boss. Now, DE has added the boss in a specific Emissary Derelict node called the Assassinate. And there is a new weapon that has been added to Warframe that drops from that new boss. So obviously, I may have piqued your interest there. But something else I do want to throw in with this, since we were talking about the Emissary Derelict mission specifically, the standard Derelicts actually can earn you a unique sigil that is on the front of my Ash Prime, as you see here. Now, this is called the Leaping Thrasher sigil. And it can drop specifically from, as the name implies, the Leaping Thrasher. Now, depending on your thoughts on sigils, love them, hate them, like them, okay with them, do what you will there. If you want to get it, you can, and I'll tell you how. If you don't, don't. So let's take a look at the standard Emissary Derelict mission, then we'll look at the Assassinate node, and then finally we'll talk about how it works. Okay, so the two new enemies that are going to be have been added to the standard Emissary Derelict nodes are first the Undying Flyer, which has a really unique mechanic in which, after you down this dude, he actually drops into a respawn pod. If you don't destroy that pod after a few seconds, he just jumps right back out alive and well, and then you have to kill him all over again, and that will be a never-ending cycle. Hence the name Undying Flyer. So you need to make sure you destroy that pod. It does glow, so it's pretty obvious. But the enemy that you really care about, possibly because of the sigil, is this dude, and that's the Leaping Thrasher. It's kind of a ancient lizard mix? I don't know. But anyway, as you see down at the bottom corner of the drop, it actually specifically says the Leaping Thrasher sigil. It does show as a gold drop. But to be honest with you, it took me and my clanmates probably 3 runs, if I recall correctly, to actually get it to drop. So doesn't seem that hard to get, but if you want it, there you go. So why would you want to take on this new boss? As I said, we do have a new weapon that only drops from the new boss. So let's take a look at the weapon, which I don't quite have it yet, and then we'll talk about the enemy, and then finally how the Derelicts work. So this is the new weapon. It's called the Path Assist. Now there are 3 parts: the blueprint, the subcortex, and the blade. 2 blades to be specific. These parts are tradable, and they only drop from the boss on the Derelict Assassinate mission. Alright? Now, I can tell you that the drop rate for every part, the blueprint, the subcortex, and the blade, are 33.33% across the board. I see some people in trade chat, for whatever wonky, weird reason, asking, 15 plat for the subcortex, 20 plat for the blueprint, and then 30 to 40 plat for blades. And I'm just like, they all have a 33.33% drop chance. Why are you paying more for one? Or it just doesn't make sense. But as is with every new weapon release, there's a bunch of hype, there's a bunch of buzz, and people just can't wait to get it, and so they'll pay any amount of plat to get it. So yeah, people are charging 200 to 300 plat a set. That's just the typical way that the buzz works on this game. You get a new frame, people go crazy for it. New weapons, people go crazy for it. So yeah, that's the typical shtick that happens here. Now, I can't tell you that the stats of the Path Assist are actually very similar prior to being thrown as the Glaive Prime, but as soon as it's thrown, the stats drop, because the Path Assist has a unique mechanic in which enemies it hits, it spawns maggots, and then the maggots attack the enemies. Yeah, I'm going to reserve judgment until I have it in hand. And then if I need to make an addendum to this video for that weapon, the Path Assist, I will. But as it stands, yeah. I am missing 2 blades. That's the last thing I need. But anyway, I will tell you that don't get in a rush with the Path Assist. You don't have to get it right now. It's not a time defend. DE has already said that these Derelicts will stick around after Nightwave is gone. So that means that you'll be able to get the Path Assist and the Sigil from, I guess until DE releases Warframe 2, or whatever the case may be. So no rush. It's not timed. You're not going to miss it or anything else like that. So don't get all flustered. So all right, let's talk about the enemy real quick and some tactics that may help you out. At least what me and my clanmates use. So the enemy that drops the parts is... Why didn't that work? There we go. The enemy that drops the parts is called the Zealoid Prelat. So the Prelat, as you can see here, he's holding the Path glaive in his hand here. He basically has a damage phase and an invulnerability phase. And the way that it basically works is after you damage him, he goes invulnerable as well as all the enemies around you. And then at that point, what you have to do is you have to find the lantern bearer, the light bearer, as he says. And that particular enemy is the Zealoid Bastion. Zealoid Bastion, I should say. As you can tell, he's all lit up. He will appear as a red icon marked enemy in a different part of the map. One of your squad mates will have to blaze over there real quick, drop this dude, grab the lamp, and bring it back. Now, you only have a certain amount of time with the lamp. Any enemies that enter the enlightened area of the lamp can then be killed. Hence, you can then do damage to the boss. Killing enemies increases the amount of time you have the lamp as well as the area effect of the lamp. So obviously you're going to want to kill enemies non-stop while you have the lamp and let your squad do the damage to the boss, the Prelat. He's not that hard to beat. The best tip I can give you is Nova. Nova is fantastic. Well, she's fantastic anyway, but she's really fantastic against this boss. Also, don't forget your arc guns. They do a lot of damage really quickly against this dude. So that's about the best advice I can give you. So yeah, now let's talk about how the derelicts work, because it can be kind of confusing, and then we'll end the video. So, all right. Basically, if you want to know where the Emissary Derelicts are, look down here at the bottom right corner of your screen above the Nightwave box. In that location, it'll say 0 of 3 for that specific planets, and that will indicate that's where the Emissary Derelicts are. So, as it is now, the Derelicts are on Ceres and Neptune. So if we take a look at Ceres, you see pretty quickly that the Emissary Derelict Assassinate is in fact on Ceres. Now if you hover over it, you'll notice at the bottom in the box it specifically says 1 Zealot Derelict code required. And the same for the standard derelict. As you see here, 1 Zealot Derelict code required. Now, the Sabotage, for example, is where you would earn, as I've said, the sigil from the Leaping Thrasher, the 2 new enemies. The boss does not come to this node. The Prelat will not come to the Emissary Derelict Sabotage. He will only stay in that Assassinate Derelict, so they don't mix and match. But you still need the Zealot Derelict code. How do you earn said Derelict code? What you're going to have to do is in your alert tab, you're going to have to go to the fist, the invasions, the fist icon, and you want to specifically find the infested outbreak missions. As you can see, Ceres and Neptune are as it said, told us where the derelicts were, and of course we have those 2 locations open to run invasion missions. So you basically need to run 1 invasion mission, which remember, that means you're going to have to run the same invasion mission 3 times, and that counts as 1 run. So you would have to run Casta as an example 3 times in a row. This would earn you that reward Detonite Injector, as well as the Derelict code. Upon successfully completing 1 mission, in this case it's Ceres, you will have a code sent straight to your inbox. No waiting around like the typical rewards for invasions. Now, a few things to keep in mind. You can only get 1 code from 1 planet in a certain amount of time. That's all you get is 1. That's it. So even if you went to Ceres and you ran every damn invasion listed, you're still only going to get 1 derelict code for the very first invasion mission you ran. Even if you ran the rest of these, wouldn't matter. You're still not going to get any derelict codes from them. And believe me, I tried every which way to figure out a way to run infested outbreak invasion missions to earn another code. Did not work. I tried everything, trust me. You get one code for one specific invasion location, and that's all you get until it resets. Okay? That's all you're going to get. So even if you earn, just a few more things here, even if you earn your code on Neptune, for example, they're not planet specific. You can use them in any location where there's an Emissary Derelict present. So if you earn your code on Neptune, you can still use that code to get into the Emissary Derelict Assassin mission on Ceres. So they're not planet specific. You can use them anywhere you want to. Remember that the boss, as I said, only appears on the Assassinate Derelict. And yeah, that's about wraps up everything that I can think of about the Emissary Derelict missions. They're not hard to do. They're pretty straightforward. They're pretty simple to do. You shouldn't have any problems at all. But let me know down in the comment section below what you think about the Emissary Derelict missions. And until next time, peace and grace.